Welcome. This week's What's Cool in School has us here at our second private school. It is Redeemer Classical Academy, and coming up in today's show, we get to learn what it means to be a classical academy. After that, we get an introduction into the competitive Latin program here at the school, and then we learn about humanities and what students are learning through the humanities classes. We have that coming up for you, and then a word from the principal. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are finding out what's cool in school here at Redeemer Classical Academy. So thrilled to be sitting down with Principal Daniel Bonsell. First off, thanks so much for inviting us in.
We're so glad you're here. Thanks for being here.
It is really cool to walk into such a warm and welcoming environment. And I think this is a smaller setting, but such a mighty setting at that. What sets Redeemer apart from other schools?
That's a good start, because for me, it is that small environment. Like, we want every one of our students to be known. And when most of our other schools get bigger and larger, they lose that. And so we can't cultivate that heart and care for that heart of that student and their mind if it's too large. And so having this small environment, each of our students are known, and we can intentionally cultivate the heart toward the classical learning, which is the second part. So as a classical Christian school, very intentional about what that means through grammar, logic, and rhetoric. And so following that developmental path that was passed down from Dorothy Sayers in 1947, if we think back to then, even schools were pretty good, but back then even realized there's things missing. This system isn't working so well. And so then she developed that idea from just following the development of us as humans of when grammar, we're like sponges. Memorization is key, and we want to fill this mind, and then it seeps down to the heart, and then it forms them into who we, and especially God, has designed them to be. And so that's grammar. And as they shift into logic, it's kind of the middle school age. And so again, very intentional at that age. They are becoming their own person, as we see very evident from the teenagers we've known and been around. And as teenagers, they are trying to get their own, who am I? And they're asking that question. And it looks like rebellion, but they're asking questions. They're wondering, they're trying to make meaning to things. And so let's teach them. So we press into that and teach them how to ask questions. How do you think logically? How do you reason? How do you have a well thought out thought instead of just that quick feeling, which our world is very good at? It's just, this is what I feel, this is what I say. And it's like, no, let's pause, think about the question. Let's reason it out. What's a logical explanation or answer to what you're looking for? And so as they grow in that confidence through them, so instead of confusion in that middle school, logic school age, it now grows to confidence. This is who I am. This is why I am. And then that pushes them right into the rhetoric stage of high school. And now they begin to make sense of all the things and own it, and now put it together and put their own words to it, and then pull from what they did in maybe 6th grade and now 7th and then in 9th grade, and have a well-reasoned and thought out presentation, essay, and we teach them how to speak. Now, how do you speak? How does it go from all these different parts? Here, this is who I am, and now this is how I deliver it.
That is beautiful. What does that success look like for a student as you see them through the years, that senior year? What is your success rate here at Redeemer as they move on to other higher education levels?
Very good. But most of all, I mean, we don't measure success by acceptance into the university or college, or even by grade point average or test scores. They do well on those. We take our achievement tests just so we can have those markers and see, and they can use them if they need to get into college or whatever step they need to do next. But our benchmark for success is that they become these whole, confident people that can enter the world knowing who they are and who God made them to be. And so they can, as they're learning a world that separates things into subjects, into, well, just be good at math and just be good at science. Then if you're whatever you like best, and then pursue that career to get a job. And we say, no, they were all made by God. And if I learn and grow in confidence in each of those, I love them. And that love of learning draws me closer to God, draws me closer to who I am. And then I can step into the world and be someone who can engage in anything, whatever that may be. And then their gifts and talents will take them to a job, may take them to a college or university. But it's not those things driving and pulling for, I'm successful if I get that. I'm successful if I do this. It's like, no, I know who I am. Now let me go take this into the world to hopefully bring healing to a hurting world, bring a confidence into the world instead of a question into the world. Am I this? And wait for the world to respond. Did I get the degree? Did I get the job? Do I get the money? And it's like, no, I know who I am, and now I can take that into the world.
Oh, how wonderful that is. Looking ahead at the next 10 years, as you look ahead in time, what is your hope for Redeemer Classical Academy?
That's a good question. I think what I want 10 years is what I want tomorrow. And just for that to continue and grow. And that's just that passion and excitement for learning, and our students to grow as wholehearted, confident learners in who they are in God. And so as we see that in our students today, like in their learning, as they leave today with smiles, with full hearts, knowing that I did tough things today and I can do hard things and I know who I am, and that confidence grows year by year. And so for me in 10 years, like that same thing, maybe a few more students because we've grown a bit, but that same core piece just continues day in and day out.
I hope you do see that. Principal Daniel Vonsell here at Redeemer Classical Academy, thank you so very much for sharing all that you did. Stick with us, because in the next 30 minutes during the show of What's Cool in School, we get to hear about an award-winning Latin program here at Redeemer, as well as what's going on in their Humanities program. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Audra Bryson. I'm the medical assistant here. I run the Optimus machine. It's the Morpheus, Forma, and Lumecca. I also run the Skin Pen, which helps with, it's microneedling, so helps with clearing acne type scarring and stuff like that. The Morpheus and Forma both do collagen and elastin, help with collagen and elastin production. And then the Lumecca clears reds and browns, broken capillaries, stuff like that. People just have a better confidence when they get this done, because their skin is much clearer and they're just much happier when they have that done.
My name is Wes Wyrick. I'm the owner of Momentum Wealth Solutions, and what we do at Momentum Wealth Solutions is a little bit different than most wealth management firms that you'll see. We focus on cash flow generation and lifetime income for people, especially seniors and those just starting out wanting to build retirement. We do that through a variety of ways, whether it be insurance. We look for alternative strategies to build cash, tax-free strategies, and also work with people that need help budgeting and getting out of debt. We're looking for clients, ideally, that are people that are 50 plus, that are looking for that next stage of not just accumulating wealth, but they're going to be distributing it out in the next 10 years or so. We want to help put them in a situation where their cash coming out may possibly be tax-free, or at least as little tax as possible coming out, so that they can keep as much as they've earned that the government allows us to do so. Got two beautiful little 6-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. Their names are Rhett and Arabella. They started at Redeemer in kindergarten. My wife and I researched every school that we could to try to find the best place to go, and we felt the most comfortable with what we found at Redeemer. And so far, they have thrived and loved it. They've loved it so much that we've gotten involved with the school in as many levels as possible. Just their thirst and love for learning and education, and seeing that really materialize there at Redeemer and what they do for them has been incredible. You can reach us at Momentum at www.momentumwealthsolutions.com, or contact us by phone or text at 615-498-7280.
Welcome back to What's Cool in School. We are here at Redeemer Classical Academy, and I have the pleasure of sitting in the Latin classroom. This is, again, Latin, the mother of all languages, as you were saying. Darla Tucker, the teacher for Latin here at Redeemer. First off, thanks for letting me sit in.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here today.
Oh my gosh, this is such a treat. So before we start really with the classes, where does your love for this language come from? Because again, you have to love it to be able to teach it to kids.
Exactly. I think I know my love for Latin comes from a great teacher back in the day. Back in college, we had to take a language. I'd already taken French in high school. Decided, let me give Latin a try. Let me just try this. So had to take 2 classes. By the end of 2 classes, I said, I want to take another one. I want to take another one. And pretty soon my major was the classics. So I had a very, very good teacher, and that can show you what a teacher can do and how much influence, because now here I am.
Teaching all of these younger generations. You've been doing this now for, you said, 20 years?
Yes,
20
that's right.
years. Talk to us about the setup here at Redeemer, when they start taking their first class and how they grow with it through the years.
Okay, sure, absolutely. So students start Latin at Redeemer in 3rd grade. And in 3rd grade, so we have the stages. 3rd grade is considered the grammar stage. So we have grammar, logic, and rhetoric. I like to approach, we at Redeemer like to approach Latin as, you don't have to take Latin, you get to take Latin.
Like that.
And the kids, by the time they're in 3rd grade, they are so pumped to take Latin. First of all, it's learning another language, and they're just excited about that. I think learning Latin, they think, oh, Latin, that's kind of a lot of people say that's hard. I'm really kind of excited to try something hard. Students really do like to do hard things and try hard things. In 3rd and 4th grade, we start out with doing a lot of songs, chants. We are marching around the room. We're doing things with our ears, and we're chanting things. We're also using manipulatives to learn. We're front loading a lot of information because they're really good at memorizing at that point. 5th and 6th grade, we're still doing a lot of that grammar stage work. We're front loading, doing a lot of drills. Students are very good at that. They're very good at memorizing, soaking things up like a sponge. By the 7th grade, students are getting to the point where they're really good at asking questions, decoding things, maybe arguing just a little bit, so they can take a Latin sentence and decode, maybe ask questions. Latin is a puzzle. A Latin sentence is a puzzle. There's no word order in Latin. And so we could have a 3-word sentence with a subject, verb, and direct object, and you could put those words in 6 different ways and still translate it the same way, because it's an inflected language. We're paying attention to the endings.
Okay.
And so it's a puzzle to figure out, and it's a challenge. They're also in that logic stage. So Latin is a very logical language. It helps the students with their English grammar, helps students with spelling, critical thinking skills. They have to look at the ending and decide, is that the subject, the direct object, object of the preposition, is that the indirect object? And so they're really having to use those critical thinking skills. By the time they're in 9th grade here at Redeemer, they are able to translate well, and they are able to see the beauty of the translation in the mother tongue of Latin. And that's really exciting, and that is kind of our end goal at that point. We're building up, kind of like it runs throughout classical education, that grammar, logic, and rhetoric. The end goal is to see what you've learned and know what's good, what's beautiful about what you've learned. And so
And they really get to put that to the test with their skills and what they've learned as far as Latin, because you guys
Yes.
compete as well.
We do, yes, we do. We participate in the Tennessee Junior Classical League and the National Junior Classical League. The students become members every year. We go to 2 competitions a year, the Mid-State competition and the state convention, which is held in various places around Tennessee. It's a little bit of everything. It's kind of like a beta club, would you say? A little bit of everything. There's art, there's music, there are costume contests, there's academic competitions. So students get to really select what they want, except for they have to do the academics, of course. But our students do very, very well. We also take the National Latin exam every year, and students have performed very well on that. in 2022 and 2023, we won first in the state of Tennessee, our little school.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, let's brag on your winnings, because I mean, that's 2 years in a row.
Yes, it was exciting. We took a pretty small group of 14 one year, 14 and 17, I think, one of the other years, and they go against some large schools, so it could be a little intimidating, but they put the students here really go all in. They love to participate in everything Latin, and I like to say Latin's kind of like our football. We don't have football, but we have Latin.
I like that. And that
Yes.
speaks volumes, though, of your teaching, you as being the head of this class for so many years. You also have a fundraiser I want to make sure that we do highlight. What is the fundraiser for? And tell us a little bit about the poster that we have here that goes along with it.
So this guy is our mascot for our yearly, this will be our 5th annual Saturday Night Latin. This will be our 5th year for that. And Saturday Night Latin is a kind of a takeoff on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
And I know a lot of people have seen Saturday Night Live before, and so it's a variety show we put on. It's dinner and a show. We put on a full Greek meal with a table set up, and we have artwork for sale. Students put on skits. We do little skits, and we have commercials, and we're trying to educate others about Roman history, Greek history, about Roman and Greek mythology, while providing some fun, really funny entertainment. The kids are not only very talented with their Latin skills, they're really funny.
I can imagine. Darla Tucker over the Latin class here at Redeemer Classical Academy. Thank you so much for sharing all of that, and good luck in all the competitions that you have in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Anytime. Stick with us with What's Cool in School. We have more of What's Cool here at Redeemer when we come back.
I'm Dr. Webb. I'm the owner and operator of Webb Aesthetic Plastic Surgery here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We offer services for both men and women, breast, body, and face for both.
I meet with patients who are ready to schedule surgery. We talk about their pre-op appointments, what to expect before surgery, what to expect during and after surgery.
We graduated medical school and nursing school the same day, and I had things that I believed in and stood by that I wasn't willing to compromise on. So when he came home, we had to discuss that we were on the same page with how we treated patients and staff. We want them to feel like they're part of our family.
My name is Wes Wyrick. I'm the owner of Momentum Wealth Solutions, and what we do at Momentum Wealth Solutions is a little bit different than most wealth management firms that you'll see. We focus on cash flow generation and lifetime income for people, especially seniors and those just starting out wanting to build retirement. We do that through a variety of ways, whether it be insurance. We look for alternative strategies to build cash, tax-free strategies, and also work with people that need help budgeting and getting out of debt. We're looking for clients, ideally, that are people that are 50 plus, that are looking for that next stage of not just accumulating wealth, but they're going to be distributing it out in the next 10 years or so. We want to help put them in a situation where their cash coming out may possibly be tax-free, or at least as little tax as possible coming out, so that they can keep as much as they've earned that the government allows us to do so. Got two beautiful little 6-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. Their names are Rhett and Arabella. They started at Redeemer in kindergarten. My wife and I researched every school that we could to try to find the best place to go, and we felt the most comfortable with what we found at Redeemer. And so far, they have thrived and loved it. They've loved it so much that we've gotten involved with the school in as many levels as possible. Just their thirst and love for learning and education, and seeing that really materialize there at Redeemer and what they do for them has been incredible. You can reach us at Momentum at www.momentumwealthsolutions.com, or contact us by phone or text at 615-498-7280.
We offer services for both men and women, breast, body, and face for both.
People come to plastic surgery offices because they want to improve something that they feel is a flaw in themselves.
About 10 years ago, our men's procedures were probably about 10% of what we did. Nowadays, it's more like 30 or 40%. Eyelid lifts, liposuction, and we even do hair transplants here.
We are part of the community, and we want to be able to walk around and see faces in the community that we've made happy.
Welcome back to What's Cool in School here in Rutherford County. We have the pleasure of visiting Redeemer Classical Academy today. Next up, and to share with us all that students are learning, we have Kaylin Hilditch. She is the upper school humanities teacher for Redeemer. First off, thank you for talking with me.
Of course. I'm so glad you're here.
I love that Kaylin is a graduate of Redeemer.
Yes.
What made you want to come back to teach the students that are here now?
Yeah. So I was here my junior and senior year of high school, and the first 2 years Redeemer existed. And I just had such a wonderful experience, just being able to be part of the culture of the school when it first began. So I just had a wonderful experience here leaving on for college. Did not expect to come back, but things kind of just worked out and things aligned. And I have always been very invested in the success and the growth of this school. So when that opportunity was presented to me to be a part of that again, I had to be a part of it. And yeah, it's just so awesome to have real meaning in your work. And I do feel like I have real meaning being here and a part of it.
I love hearing that. And for someone that went to school here and then came back to give back, what are the students now learning from you through humanities?
So in the humanities courses, we have a class called Omnibus, which is the Latin word for everything. I don't teach everything, but it kind of feels like that, where we look at the ancient, medieval, and modern periods of history, mainly in Western civilization, and we look at the great books, which is the classics. So right now we're doing a lot of ancient with my 9th and 10th graders. We're reading Homer, we're reading Plato, and then with 11th and 12th this year we're doing modern. So we're looking at the Reformation first off, we're reading Martin Luther, but we're also in that literary sphere of things reading Pride and Prejudice. So the reason it's called Omnibus is because we read those classic books, depending on what they may be, but we're always seeing the literary, the theological, and the historical significance. And that is something I love to do for fun. I mean, I loved Omnibus when I was a student.
Right.
I think it kind of created that love for that in me. So yeah, it's great. We love it. We have discussions, they do essays. So that's mainly what I'm doing.
Speaking of discussions, being able to teach these students at such a young age, what does that look like in the classroom when they start having those discussions from, say, when they're in 9th grade through their 12th grade? What is that like?
So they probably are having discussions even in middle school, but in high school it really becomes, I like to step back a bit and let them discuss with themselves, amongst themselves. And yeah, it may seem like, wow, wouldn't that be a free-for-all? But with our smaller classes, it's not. And they've been trained how to ask questions and how to be respectful of one another's opinions, even when they disagree about what a character in this book might mean, you know. So while I'm moderator, you might say, of student discussion, I like to see if they've really understood the book and the questions they're asking and whatnot. But no, I think it's just a great chance to allow students to basically show me their knowledge and have fun discussing a book.
Now, how does a humanities class or course, for those who may not be overly familiar, like going through these books, how will this help students later on in life? What does this do for them?
Oh, I mean, I think it makes them better humans. So the more we read about history and the world around us, we become empathetic. We understand the past, and it helps us understand the present. So for so many reasons, I think not only is it going to prepare you for the collegiate setting, no matter what it is you want to do, you know, you're well read, you know how to read, you know how to communicate in discussions. But I think it forms you to be historically aware of what's going on around us, and I think that is so valuable.
For you, as someone with a love for this, what is it like to see the love spark and then grow in a younger generation?
I think it's so exciting when you know, I hand them a book and at first they're like, ugh, do we really have to read it? You know, like Plato.
Right.
Why am I reading Plato? But then we start talking about it, and you're like, do you understand what he's saying here? And it always does happen. There always is a moment of, oh,
Light bulb.
he could have written this today, you know, and that is the light bulb for any teacher. Is just so fun to see. But yeah, that's kind of back to what I was saying at first. It's just so much, it's a meaningful thing to see because they will take that with them for the rest of their lives.
Thank you so much, Kaylin. Appreciate you. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Webb King. I am the nurse injector, office manager here at Webb Aesthetic Plastic Surgery Med Spa. We have been open for a little over 10 years now. My favorite thing about working here is just making people feel better about themselves. Most often they come in with something that they are insecure about, and giving them the confidence to not feel that way changes their lives, which changes our lives too. It's almost indescribable to see someone walk in and then walk out with a different demeanor, a different confidence. You can see before and after pictures, even the undergarments that they wear in the first picture versus the second picture, or just the smile on their face, or the way they will open their eyes and look at you when they wouldn't when they walked in the door the first time.
My name is Wes Wyrick. I'm the owner of Momentum Wealth Solutions, and what we do at Momentum Wealth Solutions is a little bit different than most wealth management firms that you'll see. We focus on cash flow generation and lifetime income for people, especially seniors and those just starting out wanting to build retirement. We do that through a variety of ways, whether it be insurance. We look for alternative strategies to build cash, tax-free strategies, and also work with people that need help budgeting and getting out of debt. We're looking for clients, ideally, that are people that are 50 plus, that are looking for that next stage of not just accumulating wealth, but they're going to be distributing it out in the next 10 years or so. We want to help put them in a situation where their cash coming out may possibly be tax-free, or at least as little tax as possible coming out, so that they can keep as much as they've earned that the government allows us to do so. Got two beautiful little 6-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. Their names are Rhett and Arabella. They started a Redeemer in kindergarten. My wife and I researched every school that we could to try to find the best place to go. We felt the most comfortable with what we found at Redeemer, and so far they have thrived and loved it. They've loved it so much that we've gotten involved with the school in as many levels as possible. Just their thirst and love for learning and education, and seeing that really materialize there at Redeemer and what they do for them has been incredible. You can reach us at Momentum at www.momentumwealthsolutions.com, or contact us by phone or text at 615-498-7280.
Now, a word from the principal.
We want families to have choices. They know, as they're pursuing what's best for their family, to be able to say, this works best for me, this is what I want. And so for me, just to encourage families to look and see, and to know that here at Redeemer Classical Academy, we are a Christian classical school. We are going to cultivate and help form your child into who God made them to be alongside you. And we love that work, and it's such a wonderful place to work and show up each day. And I wish all schools were like this. And I think oftentimes whenever I have a tour, families come through and they get to see a bit of it and talk about it. Or if they come in on one of our events where we are sharing about what our school is, the bigger events where we share what it is, they'll come in and they go, that's what learning's supposed to be. It's almost like they take a deep breath and say, this is what learning's supposed to be. And it's like, yes, it is. There's so much more to it when we do it God-centered and embracing the classical works that make learning more meaningful.
I don't know about you, but I love learning something new every day, and I love getting to know our high schools here in Rutherford County. Thank you so much to Redeemer Classical Academy for having us inside of your school to learn what students are taking part in and enjoying here at the school. We appreciate your time. Please be sure to not only share this episode, but all other episodes of What's Cool in School in Rutherford County.